Welcome to Herbs After 9. If you're tuning in, make yourself a cup of tea, put your feet up, and listen to some herbal wisdom to nurture you naturally. Hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of Herbs After 9. I forgot the name of that show. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Herbs After 9. In this episode, first of all, this episode is called You Know You're Sick, but your blood tests keep coming back normal. And I'm sure we've all been in this situation where, well, maybe not all of us, but I'm sure shut up. I get nervous because you're here.
Okay.
I'm joking, I'm sorry. All right. Evening, everybody. Welcome to Herbs After 9. This is episode 2, which is called You Know You're Sick, but your blood tests keep coming back normal. And in this episode, well, first of all, I'm sure a lot of us have been in that situation where you know you're sick, you know you're not feeling your best self, and you get like a multitude of tests done and it comes back normal. And this is obviously quite frustrating. In this episode, I want to unpick why that might happen. I want to start putting filling in the missing pieces when it comes to healthcare for us. Our idea of health and our bodies is a little incomplete and it's quite fragmented, and that's no surprise. I mean, we're not taught growing up the full holistic nature of the human body and what we needed to do to support it. So it's no surprise that we have some incorrect information or understanding of how to treat ourselves when we're not feeling well. If you don't understand how the body works, if you don't understand the puzzle and how all the different pieces connect together, then it's going to be hard for you to treat it when something goes wrong, or even to prevent things from going wrong. So that's what we're gonna unpick today. I'm gonna unpick 3 different concepts which kind of relate to one another. 3 different concepts to help you start to think about your body and health differently. But first of all, I'm going to let you know what I'm drinking. Today I'm drinking, this is my herbal tea of the evening. It's cinnamon tea. And cinnamon is amazing. I know I say that about every herb, but it's really nice. I think every herb is amazing at the time that you need it. Cinnamon is very fragrant and warming. It's actually the bark of a tree. It's rich in essential oils and different chemicals that give it its wonderful medicinal properties. It's really warming, so perfect for this time of year when it's starting to get colder. It helps to improve the circulation around your body so you can actually feel warmer and improve. Sorry about that. Okay, so I've got a bit of a sore throat, so So it's actually perfect that I'm drinking cinnamon. All right, let me just finish. So cinnamon is great for this time of year because it helps to increase the circulation around your body. It's also rich in essential oils which are very antimicrobial. So, you know, if you're ever got a sore throat or the beginnings of a cold like me, this is great to get down you. If you've got cold or flu, cinnamon is a good tea. It has some antiviral and some antifungal properties too. Cinnamon is also really good at balancing blood sugar levels. So it's a really nice tea to have, or a nice herb to put in things that are a bit sweet, which maybe that's traditionally why it is in lots of sweet kind of desserts. Cinnamon not only being good for the respiratory system, so for colds and flus, but it's also really good for the digestive system. It's great at improving or reducing sluggishness of the digestive tract. So if you've got like bloating, indigestion, this helps you really kind of expel some of that gas that you might have and helps you to digest your food better. So yeah, I'm drinking it today because my throat, as you can hear, is a little bit irritated, and it's just really nice and warm. It's like a little hug in a mug at the moment, and it's got a slightly sweet taste. Yeah, it's really aromatic. You can smell those oils coming through. And one tip, when you're brewing something like cinnamon that is really rich in essential oils, it's best to keep it covered while it's brewing because you want to trap those lovely oils in, because that's where a lot of the medicinal properties lie, that's where a lot of the flavour lies, and that's where a lot of the aroma lies. So cover it while it's brewing, and then you'll get a really strong, potent tea if you do that. So that's my tea of the evening. Sorry if you hear me sip throughout. Well, they call it ASMR. Anyway, so I am going to recommend a book today. My book recommendation of the day. This book is great for herbal beginners. If you're new to herbs and you have no idea where to start, but you want to kind of increase your knowledge and start to use herbs in your everyday lives, because this is what this podcast is about. This podcast is helping people. I want it to help people, to help them to use herbs in their daily lives. So this book is a good place to start. It's called Cook, Brew and Blend Your Own Herbs. It's by Neil Jard Remedies. This is a really old book. It's one of the first books I got when kind of in the process of becoming a herbalist. It has a good range of different herbs, really kind of like A to Z of some herbs. It tells you what that herb is, the common name and the botanical name. It gives you a great picture of the herb. It gives you a great diagram of the herbs, and it points to the medicinal parts of the herbs. It tells you how to use it. It gives you some suggestions on how, whether to make teas, infusions, decoctions. It also tells you how you can grow it. I know that's, might be that might be kind of not for everyone, but if you are green fingered, why not start to grow your own herbs? And it also gives you some cautions on how whether or not you can use it for certain conditions and when you need to be careful. It also goes on to give you some recipes, not only for the inside of your body but the outside of your body too. It's such an amazing, wholesome book. So yeah, it's just a lovely reference book to have at home in your kitchen. It really gives you hands-on herbal knowledge. So it doesn't just tell you about the herb, but it tells you how you can get using them practically. So that's Cook, Brew and Blend Your Own Herbs by Neil Jard Remedies. That's that book. All right, so let's get into the content for today. So as I said, we're going to unpick 3 different concepts that will give us a better understanding about our health and how we can take care of ourselves. So the first concept is the holistic nature of the human body. So the human body is like a puzzle. That might not be the best analogy, but that's the only way I can describe it right now. But it's like a big web. Let's say that, let's call it that. It's a big web where all the individual parts are connected to one another. So it's very interconnected. All the parts are interrelated and they all depend on one another. So your body is made up of different systems. It's got your digestive system, your respiratory system, your cardiovascular system, your nervous system, the hormones of the body and all the different glands and hormones that make up that system. And all of these parts, they relate to one another, they speak to one another, they're connected to one another, and they each have an effect on one another. The human body is holistic in nature. What can be a little bit confusing sometimes, or the way that we're taught about the body, it's sometimes reduced to its individual parts. What do I mean by that? Take this for example. Say you go to see your health practitioner and you walk into the office. You sometimes leave a little bit, none the wiser than when you went in. You might go there with, let's have an example. You might go there with a digestive issue. Say you've got some kind of stomach problem. Say you have constipation or chronic constipation and you're not really going to the toilet properly. You might go to the doctors and or whatever healthcare practitioner you're seeing, and they might, you say to them, "I've got chronic constipation, I can't use the toilet." A practitioner that is seeing your body in a reduced way, in a compartmentalized way, in a way that is not holistic, kind of just sees, instead of seeing you, a whole person, come into the consultation room, they just see a digestive system. So they just see a gut coming into the consultation room. So you tell them that you're constipated and you've got some gut issues, and they, instead of seeing you as a whole person, they're just looking at you or just looking at your gut and thinking, okay, there's a problem with this person's digestive system. What can I give to that digestive system to fix it? So the practitioner hasn't looked at you as a whole person. They haven't looked and considered that there may be other systems in the body that are connected to the gut that is causing that issue, or that may be contributing to that issue. What a good practitioner would do, they would start, when you tell them that you're constipated, they try to paint a whole picture of you as an individual. So instead of just looking at your gut, they try to paint that big picture. So they will ask you, when did this start? They would ask you, has it gotten worse since it first started? They might ask you, what makes it better? Is there anything that makes it better? Is there anything that makes it worse? They might say, is there any pattern to it? Is it there all the time? They might start asking you about what you eat. Are there any patterns to what you eat that causes this problem? They might start asking, do you have any allergies or food sensitivities? Then they might even go further to ask you about your daily life. Are you stressed? What do you work as? What's your occupation? What's your home life like? Are you stressed at work? Are you stressed at home? They might ask you how long you sleep, how much sleep you get at night. Because sleep is really so important, and it can affect all of the systems of the body. So a good practitioner would ask you about your sleep. I'm just looking at my husband because I've been going to sleep late recently, so I thought I was getting side-eye. But yeah, sleep is so important for your health. So a good practitioner is going to ask you all of those questions. They're going to ask you, what are you feeling upstairs? What are you feeling like in your mind? Because, the gut and the brain are so well connected, and that's becoming so much more evident these days and more common knowledge. But because it's common knowledge, those are the kind of questions that a good practitioner should ask you, because they understand that one thing happening in the body is not like a lone occurrence. Something else is probably causing it, and it's important to get to the root cause of why it's happening. That's understanding the holistic nature of the human body. So a good practitioner is going to try and see your body as a whole, how your brain is connected to your gut, how your nervous system impacts your gut, how, what you eat, how you sleep, whether or not you get exercise, how much water you drink. Those are the kind of questions that will help you to put that puzzle together to get to the root cause of your problem. So that's the first concept. The second concept is the holistic nature of healing. That's it follows on from the first point, but the holistic nature of healing and trying to get to the root cause or your issue. Some of us are quite guilty of having an issue, maybe going to see your practitioner or, speaking to somebody and wanting to get like a wonder drug or wonder pill to fix that problem. Oftentimes we go to see somebody and we expect to leave with a solution, or with a solution as opposed to solutions, and that's a problem because of the system, the whole kind of interrelatedness and the connections of all the different systems of our body. It's very unlikely that you're going to have this one magic pill or herb that's going to fix you completely. There's oftentimes you're going to need to do a range of things to help fix you. So let's continue on from our gut example, from the constipation example. You might take a herb or something that's gonna empty your bowels, because we do want to empty the bowels. We don't want to continue to have that constipation and the contents of your bowels backing up. You want to empty your bowels. To get to that root cause of that issue, you might find out you're really stressed out, for example, and that when you've had a stressful day, that makes your constipation worse. Therefore, you can't only just assess, take a drug or a pill or a herb that's going to fix the gut. You need to go to the nervous system and start balancing that. First of all, you need to take away the the stressor that's making you stress, or reduce it as much as possible. Find coping mechanisms to cope with your stress, like exercise, deep breathing, etc. And then you might take some medicines that will work in your work in your nervous system, work to calm you down, work to negate some of the negative side effects of stress, And then you might think about your water intake. Are you getting are you meeting your daily water goal? Are you having your 2 to 3 litres a day? If not, then you definitely want to increase your water. Is there something that you're eating that tends to make it worse? Some people have sensitivities to, for example, wheat. And when they eat too much wheat, then it can start constipating them. So then you might have to adjust your diet to reduce your wheat intake, whatever it is that may be causing your constipation. So already we've looked at the gut itself, so taking something to help symptomatically reduce the constipation. We've looked at the nervous system to help reduce your stress levels. We've looked at your water intake. You've looked at your food and what you're eating. Already that's 4 different mechanisms of healing, as opposed to just one pill. So a good practitioner will tell you or give you a whole range of things for you to do as an individual. And that's the reason why 2 individuals come into a practitioner that have the same problem. Say if they both have constipation, they're not necessarily going to get the same medicine or set of medicines, because the cause of that constipation might be different for both individuals, and the sort of things that are happening in their lives might differ. So that medicine is going to be individualized to you because of the holistic nature of healing. And that is why I think plants are amazing as a healing mechanism, because plants, they tend to do more than one thing. Sometimes if you take a drug, for example, a drug that might help to relieve constipation, it literally just does that. But plants have a great way of doing a multitude of things, and sometimes plants can work on different systems of the body. Take chamomile, for example, a simple herb like chamomile. It works on the digestive system and it works on the nervous system. So chamomile, it can help to reduce bloating. It can help to reduce wind and just general digestive discomfort. But it also works on the nervous system. And people that tend to have digestive discomfort, like bloating and loose stools and things like that, sometimes the origins of it is from the nervous system. The origins of it is stress and anxiety. So imagine you've got one herb, you're drinking it, it's working on the problem like directly in your gut, helping to reduce that bloating and to settle your stomach. And then it's also working on the nervous system. It's calming you down. It's helping to reduce your anxiety. And most herbs, every herb that I know usually does more than one thing, and it's working on different parts of the body. So imagine a herbal mix now. You go to a herbalist, you will get a medicine. It doesn't just have one herb in it. Usually your mix will have at least 5 different herbs in it. Each of those herbs are doing, a multitude of things. You're definitely speaking to the holistic nature of healing once you try and heal your body in that way. And again, even further than that, you're adding things. You're drinking more water, you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough exercise, addressing all the different areas in your life that might be contributing to your problem. So that's the holistic nature of healing. The third concept, the holistic nature of diagnostics. So this one is a little bit more specific. I guess right now I'm speaking about blood tests. As I said in the beginning of the video, sometimes you might go to the doctor, you get a blood test and you're sick, but your blood tests come back normal. You might have a few weeks or few months just kind of getting on with it, but then you start to feel really sick, and it's this ongoing chronic problem, but you just can't seem to find answers. The reason for that is because conventional blood tests, they can be really useful. But what they measure is the serum levels of whatever it is that you're measuring. For example, it's a hormone in the body. Say you're measuring estrogen. A conventional blood test will measure how much estrogen is in your blood at that time that you get the blood test. And that's good, that's fine, but sometimes that doesn't give you a big picture of what's going on, because you can have a certain level of hormone in the body or estrogen in the body, but what is it actually doing? A good blood test, a functional blood test, the blood tests that we do in endobiogenic medicine actually look at the functionality of these hormones or whatever it is that you might be measuring. It looks at it doesn't actually look at the serum levels of the hormones or the chemical. It looks at the action that hormone is having on the body. It looks at how it's performing. It looks at how it's affecting different systems. It gives you a detailed breakdown of how that hormone is affecting you. And not only that, it starts to tell you how that hormone is working in relation to the other hormones in the body. So how estrogen is functioning in comparison to progesterone, in comparison to cortisol or testosterone. As we know, the holistic nature of the human body, which was the first concept, all of these hormones are connected to one another. If something's off with your cortisol, if you're highly stressed, or whatever you might be going through something in your life, it's going to affect all the other hormones of the body. Nothing happens by chance, or nothing happens in an isolated way. So looking at this blood test, it looks at how your hormones are functioning, what the effects that they're having on the body, and how they're working in relation to one another. And that is much more information, or much more valuable information than you can get from simply measuring the level of a hormone in the blood. So if you have any issues, or you might be experiencing something but your blood tests seem to be normal, I can guarantee you, if you do an extensive functional blood test, it will start to show you the issues that might be happening, and it gives you a better understanding of how you can fix your problem, or what you need to take, what you need to do, the steps that you need to take, the holistic steps that you need to take to fix that problem. So those are the 3 concepts that I wanted to share with you today. I hope that is clear and valuable to you. If you've liked this video, please do share it with someone that you think may find it useful. And as always, if you've got any questions, just hit me up. Bye.